is extremely redundant. I am behind on editing these week of workout videos, and this one was filmed all the way in July, so it's October. But I hope y'all can bear with me. I have a updated week of workouts video coming up soon, and we've made a huge ton of progress. The first thing that I had was the pause barbell hip thrust with a 1 second pause at the top. This is supposed to be done 3 sets of 8 reps. The reps that I did, or the amounts of weight that I did, were 305, 315, and then 325? No, sorry, 305, 315, 315. And so that's the weight that I had moving up on the bar, which is not too bad. I think at this time I wasn't necessarily on a huge cut or a huge deficit in my calories, so not losing any strength or muscle, hopefully, that's good. Next thing that we did was the chin-ups. 3 sets of as many reps as possible is what's programmed, and I ended up getting those little, what is it called? It's like resistance bands, but resistance bands that are specifically for pull-ups. So I have the green one, which I think is like semi-heavy, or the heaviest one that I have. Yeah, I think so. The green one is the heaviest one, resistance that I have, and then I have a purple one that's like the next one down. So at this time, I was able to do 3 chin-ups with the green resistance bands, and like 2.5 with the green, 2.5 with the green. So that's what I've been doing, and not too bad. Okay, we're working on those chin-up games, trying to get some with no resistance bands at the end of this year, hopefully. We'll see. Pause back squats with a 3 second pause. I am not perfect with the 3 second, y'all. I think it's like 3, you know, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, whatever, but I'm not perfect with that, okay? I'm gonna be real with y'all. When I have the weight, especially with squats on my back, it's definitely gets into my head, and if I hold it too long down there, I feel like I'm gonna fail. So 3 sets of 5 reps. We did 115, then 115 for the next, and then 120 was the one that I did the heaviest, and I did not really do a great 3 second pause when I got up to 120. Again, I gotta get out of my head, but that's what we have for this week. Then we have the pause military press, another one that, I don't know what it is. I zone out when I'm working out, and I forget that I'm supposed to do these pauses, and I just be going through the motions. So I apologize if it's not perfect, but it is what it is. I'm supposed to do 3 second pauses. So again, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 sets of 8 reps. The max that I got on this was 65. I started off with 60, then I did like 65, and then I brought it down to 55, and then did 65 again, brought it down to 50. So trying to push myself, but also not trying to super exert myself to the point that I get an exertion headache and then I'm out of the gym for weeks, and we're not push pressing anything or military pressing, nada. Then we have the barbell Romanian deadlift, 3 sets, and then the sets or the repetitions for the sets were kind of not scattered, but they go down. So the first one was 12, and I did 95 for 12, then the next was 10, and I did 100 for 10, and then the next was 8, and I did 105 for 8. So not bad on these RDLs, not bad at all. I will take it, and I'm working my very best to make sure my form is good on the RDLs. Again, I have a very hard time with RDLs and stiff leg deadlifts. They end up looking the same for me, and that's just me needing to hone down on my form and technique, but that's a me problem. So I gotta figure that out. The last thing was the band standing glute kickback. These are 3 sets of 20 reps, and I did all of these. I only have 1 band. I need to get more bands. I need better bands because the band that I have is falling apart. I also probably need to get those little ankle straps so that I can start doing these kickbacks and just anything that has to do with like standing abduction or anything like that, with weights on this cable attachment. So I have to figure that out. Haven't really done it purely because I've just been lazy and I haven't been feeling like spending that much money on gym stuff, but gotta do what we gotta do. Now we have day 2. So this was a very much hip thrust focused week. We have another pause barbell hip thrust. This time it was a 3 second pause. In this one, I just did 315 straight for those 5 second pauses, making sure that I'm focusing on locking out on those pauses. One thing that I need to work on is my lockout. I need to make sure that I'm actually locking out on these hip thrusts, because otherwise it's kind of pointless. I go up in the weight, but then my form goes to shit. Next was the pause chin up, 1 second at top technically, And again, not perfect with these because 3 sets of as many reps as possible. I did 2 of these so-called pause chin-ups for each of these. And that's as much as I got on these chin-ups. The next was supposed to be a front-loaded barbell deficit reverse lunge. I am not a fan of the front-loaded barbell deficit reverse lunge. I just don't like it. I feel like it's super uncomfortable, and at that point, I don't want to do it. So I did a regular reverse lunge, 3 sets of 8, got all the way up to 75 pounds on the barbell. First it was 60 for the first set, then 65 and 75, so my max was 75 on this. And my balance is what throws me off on this. Another thing too that, I don't know if anyone noticed, I felt like I may have tweaked my knee. I don't know what I was doing or how I tweaked it, but I felt like I tweaked my knee. And so I had to wear my knee sleeves for all of these movements, especially for the reverse lunges, because every time I would reverse lunge, I would feel kind of like a pull or a strain in my right knee. Very odd. Don't feel it anymore, but very, very odd. Not sure what was up with that. I don't know, but we did that. So this was the dumbbell bench press, or I think I just did bench press regularly because I don't have heavy dumbbells or heavy enough dumbbells to really do this dumbbell bench press stuff. So 3 sets of 10. Then I had 75 on the bar for the first set. Then I went up to 80 and 80. Another thing too with this is that I don't know if it's the bench that I'm using or where I'm setting it up, but I always feel off on these. And I think it's just the way the bar and the squat rack is set up. It's a little crooked. And I end up kind of bench pressing it in a sense a little bit crooked. So that's something I have to figure out. And I think it's just the fact that like the floor in the basement is slanted, and so it's just all slanty, okay? So that was that. And then technically I was supposed to do the dumbbell 45-degree hyperextension. Another thing that I feel like I haven't really been able to do properly because I don't have the proper setup for it, and then the way I set up on the rack just seems off. Like I don't really personally prefer it. So, but do I want to spend hundreds of dollars on a hyperextension machine? Not really, no I don't. So I ended up substituting that for something else. And then the last was the band standing glute kickback. Again, excuse me, 3 by 20 reps. And again, I have to do these with the band solely because I don't have those ankle straps for the cable machine that I need to get. And I have been procrastinating on getting those. So that was day 2. Day 3, another pause barbell hip thrust focus day, but this time with a 5-second pause at the lockout at the top. The sets were 3 by 3, so again, as the pauses increased, our reps decreased. I got up all the way to 330 pounds on this, which was good. Started off at 320, then did 325, and then ended with 330. And honestly, pretty solid. Form felt pretty solid. I can't complain. Pretty good, pretty good. Double pause chin-ups for 1 second. We have 3 sets of as many reps as possible, and I got 2. So 2, 2, 2 for all the sets. These are a lot more difficult for me, especially because I feel like I'm bottom heavy, and then I'm not sure, like my upper body strength hasn't really ever been that great. So work in progress on those chin-ups. The next are just regular lunges. I think I did these kind of reverse just because of space here in the gym and the way it's set up. 3 sets of 10 reps. Started at 65, then went to 75. Felt a little bit of a tweak in my knee, went down to 65. So listen to your body, y'all. You don't want to injure yourself and then be out of the gym for months and weeks, and then you're just back to square one. Next is the pause bench press. It's supposed to be a 1 second pause at the bottom. We have 3 sets of 5 reps. Started off at 65 and then just stuck with 65 just because of that 1 second pause at the bottom. So overall, pretty good. Not bad, 65 pounds, we're getting there. And we're supposed to be doing leg curls 3 by 10. My leg curl machine, because it's like one of these like home ones, is weird and feels a little bit uncomfortable. So not a huge fan of that and how that is. And I feel like it's not really meant for my body. Some leg curl machines, like you have to adjust them at the gym, and this one you can't really adjust. So, not really sure. The last is the bandstanding hip abduction. 3 sets of 20 reps for these, and again, we did those with bands. And I need a heavier band. I need to just invest in heavier bands, or, you know, I don't know, get that little ankle thing on the cable machine. Probably that might be a better investment, because then I can add weights to it. I do not want to be down here. I am so sore from CrossFit yesterday. I actually joined a CrossFit box not too long ago, and I've been going like 2 times a week, 1 to 2 times a week, just to incorporate more of an endurance challenge to my general workout. As you can see, I got this fat old bruise. I don't even know if you can see that from learning how to clean and jerk. Today was supposed to be like a general lifting day, so like a strength session, but I'm not gonna lie, I woke up with a headache and I'm just not feeling it today, so I'm actually gonna do the lighter, I think it's like more of an abduction day, so that is what we're gonna do today. It's very light, just body weight and bands, and maybe do a little bit of walking, and that's it. You gotta listen to your body. I'm listening to mine.
All right, so these are technically the glute workouts of the week. They were not required for this month, but on days that I didn't feel like lifting heavy, I would actually incorporate the glute workout days. And the glute workout days are basically just band glute workouts. And it's a lot of hip abduction focused type of workouts, which again, if you've ever watched any of my other week of workouts videos, I personally like, because I feel like it's helping with my knees. I haven't had any knee pain since incorporating these. So this is a 4-way seated hip abduction. Basically, you just move your torso forward, back, and then kind of like vertical. And then there's another one where you're like all the way back. And that is what you're supposed to be doing for 30 reps each. And then it's 3 sets of it. But basically the way this works is that you do 1 set of all of these workouts back to back, and then you take a rest, and then you do the sets again. Next workout is the bodyweight squat pulse. These are 30 pulses, and you're not really supposed to go super high or low. I'm just trying to focus on making sure that I don't get like a butt wink, which is when you're like hip area or you have like really bad flexion or something in that kind of area. So I'm trying to focus on making sure that that's not happening in these squat pulses, because I've noticed in other videos that I tend to kind of butt wink when I do squat pulses, and I think it has to do with this hip area. I need to really stretch that out prior to doing these. And then you move right into the knee banded in out hip thrust. And in this movement, you have a band around your knees, and you're supposed to hip thrust and then kind of flex your knees out and then inwards. And I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's my form and technique, but I feel like I can't really ever lock out appropriately when I do these. Definitely something I've noticed while performing these, but again, it might just be a form and technique issue that I'm personally having, something I have to work on in the future, that or get different bands, who knows. But this is the circuit for the day.
Finish that workout or the circuit with the bands and body weight. These always challenge me just because my hips apparently are pretty weak and it affects like my knees and stuff. So I like doing these. I know a lot of people probably, you know, talk a lot of ish about bands and these movements, but for me, it's kind of like physical therapy. Like this is type of stuff that I would do during physical therapy. So I'm gonna do it in the event that it helps me like strengthen my hip abductors and like just my hip area. So, you know, it's done. I got a good pump. The thing is sitting, okay? She's sitting real perky right now, so not mad at that. I'll take that if that's the only thing it'll give me. Overall, that is this week of workouts. I hope y'all enjoy the video. I hope y'all like it. I hope it's informative. I hope y'all are learning something here, specifically how my body is progressing this type of workouts or this form of working out where I'm focused more on strength training and progressively overloading my weights. And just overall is, I feel like, better for me and my type of goals that I'm looking forward to. So overall, everything is moving up, you know what I mean? Everything is moving up, weights are moving up, which is great, and progress overall is moving up, which is a good sign. If I am plateauing strength-wise, and I know that that's not the program that I need to be doing, but overall, I'm actually really, really happy with the progress that I've been making with the Bret subscription program. Overall, I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's well worth the money. It's $30 a month or $29, whatever a month. And I honestly have had the best progress with that type of programming, and overall I can't complain. My strength has been going up like crazy, and yeah, it's the only program I've been able to really stick through, and I've been liking it. I have no complaints whatsoever, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.